Tucked away beneath a veil of ancient oaks and Spanish moss, the Black Swan Inn stands along Salado Creek in San Antonio, Texas. Built in 1867 on the grounds of the Salado Creek, the soil beneath the inn is steeped in blood, both indigenous and colonial. Before that, it was sacred land to the Payaya people. Then came the battles, the deaths, the unburied. They say the creek still sings with the cries of men who've never found peace. Over the centuries, the inn has been a family home, a tavern, a brothel, a Civil War field hospital, and finally, a bed and breakfast. But few stay more than a night. Guests whisper of phantoms in lace, of the scent of burning hair, of waking up to find muddy footprints at the foot of the bed. Room 4, in particular, is always cold, no matter the season. The locals say the Black Swan Inn doesn't house spirits, it feeds them. This is a real place. You don't believe me? Go see for yourself. Stay a night and message me and let me know how that goes. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Until then, that brings us to our story, The Honeymooners. It was early spring when Michelle and Caleb Whitmore checked into the Black Swan Inn. Newlyweds, full of giddy laughter and poor judgment. They'd chosen the inn after Michelle found it in a list of charming haunted honeymoon spots on a niche travel blog. Caleb thought it was funny. Michelle, who'd always had a strange magnetism toward the otherworldly, thought it was fate. And it was, because they were placed in room number 4. The room was quaint, lace curtains, an antique iron bed, and a large gilded mirror that covered almost the entire wall across from the bed. Michelle commented on the cold. Caleb adjusted the thermostat. It didn't help. The first night, Michelle awoke to the sound of humming, a woman's voice, soft, mournful. She turned over thinking it was the TV left on in the other room, but Caleb stirred beside her. "Michelle," he whispered groggily, "who's standing by the mirror?" She froze. There in the faint silver of the moonlight stood the silhouette of a woman in an old-fashioned nightgown, her head tilted ever so slightly, her hand reaching toward the mirror but not touching it, almost stroking it, as if something or someone was inside. Then she vanished. Over the next 2 nights, Michelle changed. She became quiet, detached, always staring into the mirror. She said it made her feel like she was being remembered. Caleb tried to joke it off, but she began sleepwalking, always toward the mirror, always whispering the same words. "She's beautiful. She says I belong here." One night, Caleb woke to find Michelle sitting up in bed, tears in her eyes, smiling. "She said she had lost her baby," Michelle murmured. "She was left alone here after the war. She was pregnant and bled out waiting for her husband, but he never came." "What are you talking about?" Caleb asked, his voice shaky. "She wants to keep me," Michelle whispered. "She says I remind her of what she lost." On their last night, Michelle disappeared. Caleb searched the inn frantic. The front desk was empty. The doors were all locked. He found her, standing in the mirror, not in front of it, but in it. She stood behind the glass, pale and expressionless, Her reflection stared back while her physical body was nowhere to be found. The woman in the nightgown stood beside her, smiling, stroking Michelle's hair. Blood began to seep down the side of the mirror, as though something had been carved into the glass from within. "She's mine!" Caleb screamed, shattered the mirror with a fireplace poker. Glass flew everywhere. Michelle collapsed to the floor, gasping for air. They fled the inn that night barefoot and bloody, leaving their luggage, car keys, and sanity behind. They never spoke of it again. They moved to Oregon, changed their numbers. Michelle refuses to look into mirrors now. She covers them with towels. She swears she still hears the woman's voice sometimes, especially in the shower, in the dark. And every year on the night of their anniversary, a package arrives, wrapped in black paper, no return address. Inside, a shard of a mirror and a note in elegant cursive. "Room 4 is waiting."